Welcome to this episode. In recent weeks, there's been an absolutely huge controversy regarding the race of the ancient Egyptians, fueled by the recent release of the movie Cleopatra on Netflix. Cleopatra lived around 35 BC, roughly 2,500 years after the last pyramids were built. By her time, Egyptian civilization had already collapsed under foreign invasions, in her case, by the Romans. The pyramids and temples were ancient relics when Cleopatra was born. From a strictly African history perspective, Cleopatra is relatively unimportant, as Egypt had been under foreign rule for about 250 years up to her birth. Here at the African History Station, our focus is primarily on dynastic Egypt prior to the Greek, Roman, and Arab invasions of Africa, the Egypt of the pyramid builders, temple builders, and pharaohs. So, what did legendary ancient Greek scholars, historians, and philosophers, who hold an almost godlike status in today's academia, have to say about the race of the ancient Egyptians? Let's start with Aristotle, possibly the most famous and revered of them all. He wrote in his work, Physiognomics, that Egyptians and Ethiopians have a black hue. Lucian of Samosata, a Greek writer from 125 BC, described Egyptians as having thick lips and curly hair. Apollodorus, a Greek scholar from 180 BC, referred to Egyptians as mostly brown and black. Galen, a Greek physician born in 129 AD, wrote that Egyptians have black, dry, curly, and brittle hair. Herodotus, often called the father of history, described Egyptians as having burnt skin, flat noses, thick lips, and woolly hair. He also attributed many Egyptian customs and religious practices to Ethiopian influence. Diodorus Siculus, a Greek historian from the 1st century BC, echoed Herodotus' views, stating that Egyptians originated many religious practices from Ethiopians. Flora Shaw, an English historian from the early 20th century, argued that the prehistoric ancestors of Egyptians likely came from territories in present-day Sudan and Somalia. Count Volney, a French scholar, asserted that the ancient Egyptians were African and had contributed significantly to the development of civilization. Thomas Legge, an English traveler from the early 19th century, observed that ancient Egyptians exhibited features that some consider Negro, based on ancient texts and the appearance of mummies. In conclusion, the overwhelming consensus among ancient Greek scholars, historians, and eyewitnesses was that the ancient Egyptians were of African descent. While Cleopatra's skin color is a matter of debate, her significance in the context of ancient Egyptian history, particularly as a ruler during the decline of the civilization, is relatively minor. The fascination with her in Hollywood remains a mystery, considering the rich tapestry of ancient Egyptian history that precedes her reign. 1. Ancient Greek perspectives. The text highlights the views of several ancient Greek scholars, philosophers, and historians, including Aristotle, Lucian, Apollodorus, Galen, Herodotus, and Diodorus Siculus. These individuals provided detailed descriptions of the physical characteristics of ancient Egyptians, which often included references to their skin color, hair texture, and facial features. 2. Ethiopian influence. There's a recurring theme of Ethiopian influence on Egyptian culture and religion, as noted by Herodotus, Diodorus Siculus, and others. This suggests a cultural exchange and interaction between these neighboring regions, with Ethiopia playing a significant role in shaping early Egyptian civilization. 3. Modern interpretations. Scholars like Flora Shaw and Count Volney offered interpretations of ancient Egyptian history that recognized their African origins and contributions to civilization. They argued against theories that sought to downplay or ignore the African heritage of ancient Egyptians. 4. Historical observations. Travelers and historians from more recent centuries, such as Thomas Legge and Flora Shaw, provided additional perspectives on the race of ancient Egyptians. Their observations, based on archaeological evidence and historical texts, supported the notion of ancient Egyptians being of African descent. 5. Cleopatra's significance. The text questions the disproportionate focus on Cleopatra in popular culture, despite her relatively minor role in the broader history of ancient Egypt. It suggests that Hollywood's fascination with Cleopatra may overlook the rich history of ancient Egyptian civilization that predates her reign. Thanks for watching this episode. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next one as we explore other great civilizations.